Hey folks, it's your favorite Woods Pixie. So I know that in the last video I said that working on you was one of your best things to do, and it's very true. And I figured I'd add some of the ways you can work on you that will help you in the long run. One of the things that I've noticed about me that has made it harder for these people to do what they're trying to do is my observance. I observe everything. As an INFJ, I watch the comings and goings just naturally. Like, that was my fun time as a kid. One of my fun things to do was people watch and try and guess what they were doing. So being observant is really a big one. It keeps you safe, definitely keeps you safe. Note-taking is also a big one, so if you're not strong on note-taking, get stronger, get better at it. Recording dates and times and interactions and things that would possibly come from interactions or reasons they could be. Research has been a big one. I've first figured out there was a pattern, then I figured out what the pattern was, and then I started researching that pattern, and that led me to realizing what else was going on. And I still don't know the full extent of it. I mean, I'm putting the pieces of the puzzle together, but I still don't know the full extent of everything. But I do know that they will utilize everything they can against you, even things that shouldn't be utilized against you. Like, they will set up a traumatic scenario and then utilize your reaction to call you whatever, dismiss your word. And then they will do more horrible things to you once people think that your word is shit. And if you try and talk about it, they're just gonna ignore you. That's what they do. This whole thing is they just ignore you. And that's one of the hardest parts, is being ignored while all that shit's going on, while you're trying to tell people that all this shit's going on, and you're being ignored because of scenarios that they had already previously set up. Like, I'm smart, but I didn't see that coming. A lot of the scenarios will look normal, though, at least in my case. A lot of the scenarios just look like meeting a person. And then you find out that that person has a violent anger streak, or a sordid history, or has already been charged for doing this exact same thing to another girl in the same town. Like, yeah, that would have been useful knowledge before I dated the guy. Although it wasn't really dating, because he was paid to do it. I just didn't know that. I didn't know that till like early this year. That one stung. How many people that you thought were actually genuine potential relationships that could have evolved into something, and it turns out that they were not. They were not. They were intentionally put there to make you look a certain way. End Coercive Control USA has really good resources on spotting coercive control, and I mean, most of this has been related back to methods of coercive control. The majority of this. So it's a good place to start for resources. I did try and start a website called freeyourvoice03.wordpress.com, but then I got a message saying that Russian hackers had hacked the WordPress website, which I doubt is true, but I'm still not going to chance it. It was probably just their way of getting me to stop working on the website. But, I mean, there's a small bit of information there. Pattern recognition has been a big one. And documenting. Make sure you document everything. Document all the little daily life interactions that you think are innocuous, and you don't need to document it because it's not innocuous. These people do horrible things to you based on small bits of information they got before. And the whole time I've never been able to understand what would make people do this to other people. Like, why are you so hell-bent on destroying my life? In my case, it was a couple people that want me to shut up and don't want what they did to me to get public recognition or acknowledgement, because that would mean they'd have to own up for what they did to me and who they are as a person. And who they are as a person is absolutely horrible, so they would, yeah. The man that did all of this, that started all of this, actually there's a couple men, but the one that it all boils down to did incredibly unforgivable things to a child, that child being me, and doesn't want to own it, doesn't want to know, doesn't want people to know who he is as a person. And that's, yeah, apparently enough to kill a person over, or destroy them and silently erase their life, because silent erasure is a thing, and it's a tactic they use, so it doesn't look like you're being trafficked. Not to anyone that's just looking at you. They're just hanging out next to you. You just seem like you're, you know, whatever it is. But when they take your ability to have a job and destroy it by going in behind you and telling people not to hire you, when they affect your computer and your phone so that you know you're always being watched no matter what, when they track every single thing you do just so they can use it to hurt you later, not because they care what you're doing, but because they want to hurt you with it. When they take everything in your life that could possibly trigger you, and they use that to trigger you, so they can point at you later and say, look, they're unstable. Like, at first I didn't even realize that my late fiance was part of all of this either. But, now that I've seen all these patterns and I know what they do and how it works, I mean, I saw those same patterns when I was with him, but I didn't see them because I didn't expect that from a human. I didn't expect that from anyone. Like, one person has told me, though, the reason I didn't expect it is because, or the reason I can't understand it is because I'm not the type of person that would do that. So It doesn't occur to me, hey, let's just like go ruin a person's life for fun. That's my shits and giggles for the day. Hey, let's try and help a abuser silence their victim and abuse them further. Because that's what they're doing. They're helping silence the victim and abuse them further for the abuser. You can also find that information on the Coercive Control website. That lady's information has given me a lot of things to view in life, and a lot of information on how I was raised and how I was treated and who these people actually are. They gave me the information that I needed to know that this is trafficking, and it's a type of trafficking. It's just not the type that everyone's used to seeing. But when they've arranged for dates, they've arranged guys to date you and drag you around and do horrible things to you, and then they just use the same cover-up every time. So, note-taking, pattern recognition, start learning law and psychology. It'll come in handy one day. Might save your life. Because a lot of this doesn't start with a whole bunch of weird actions out in public. It's little things. It's little things. Like paying someone to come in and be your friend so they can sabotage you from closer. So that it looks like you don't know what you're doing. But in reality, you had to argue them to do what you're doing. Like they say, never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. Because stupid people in large groups can kill a person if they want, silently, without ever getting their hands dirty. So, I'm gonna go for now, but I just wanted to give you a few ideas of things to focus on. Get your skills up to date. Start doing it. Learn your shit. Yeah. Do good. Be good. Get good things. And ignore the sound bullcrap that they throw at you. Ignore the sounds, because it's just trying to antagonize you more. Yeah, they'll use police. Yeah, they'll use ambulance. Yeah, they'll use fire. Yeah, they'll use all of them, because they're anyone that belongs to a lodge never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. So, do good, be good, get good things.